and like do whatever,
Oh
listen.
no, it's funny. Like as much as I've mellowed my ways, I still enjoy some nice conflict. It's always fun.
Like our conflict. I know you wanted to get on this,
Oh,
so let's get it over
oh,
with.
oh,
Get it over with.
motherfucker.
The views and opinions expressed by Craig's Terrible Idea podcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any other agency, organization, employer, or company. Any content provided by the authors and their guests are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. No animals were harmed in the creation of the podcast, as far as we know.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. Are we all here?
I hear you.
There
You
we go.
expecting someone else?
Hope not.
What's up,
Welcome.
boys?
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Craig's Terrible Idea with my co-hosts Eric Lehman and Don Pickett.
After our, I just put an HD. After our 1 week
Hiatus.
hiatus for Craig's terrible food poisoning,
Oh man, God, let me tell you, man. Like,
spare us the details there, sport.
don't worry about it. Like, after 4 hours of dry heaving, you don't want to hear anymore.
Do you know what you ate, or is it the mystery?
That is a really good question. I'm going to assume that it was watermelon.
Ugh.
Okay.
Well, that's what came out, so that's the last thing that I ate.
All right.
Gory details and all.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, but how about coming first? How about coming first in COD finally?
No, we came fourth.
No, we came first in plunder.
Oh, plunder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first and plunder.
plunder.
Coming forth in regular Warzone. That's still an accomplishment.
Yeah, yeah. Considering that at the end it was like Simon got 14 kills and each of us got one apiece. Yeah.
Hey, I got two.
Listen,
There you go.
I pulled my weight, so there you go.
So Simon outscored us somewhere between 17 to 14 to 1.
Some of us are better than others when it comes to Twitch shooting. I mean,
Oy. So did you see the thing that McConnell and a bunch of Republicans are having a sad because the Biden administration's education department is saying that we should teach about slavery in U.S. schools?
you mean taking away the 619, the 1619?
No, this is just sort of a general thing. As one of their proposals is to, slavery has to be taught. All that shit has to be taught. It's not taught in every school system.
Mm-hmm.
And Mitch McConnell and something like 30 odd other Republicans signed a letter or something because they're sad because white people might feel bad for a second.
Yeah, they might. But it's funny because I went to school here in the Northeast, and it still astounds me. Like, because I learned about it. Like, I mean, sure, in a not as deep a way in elementary and high school as I could. Like, just like we didn't learn about the Vietnam War in a particularly deep way either, but we talked about it and we recognize it as bad. It's weird. It still takes me aback that that's not something that every American learns. I mean, it is so integral to the American experience.
I don't remember learning a lot about slavery in the Atlantic public schools.
Well, let's put.
How about, like, actually, I'm curious, Don. So did you learn anything about Native American history, like the history of our treatment of them either?
So with the caveat, it was a long time ago and a lot of brain cells didn't make it from then to now.
Oh, don't tell me.
I don't remember. No, I don't remember learning a lot about Native American, which was funny because I grew up at the corner of Collins and Echota Drive. Echota is actually an Indian word for from the people who lived there before the white people showed up.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
I know. So I don't remember now when my parents moved and I went to high school in Connecticut, I went to a really good high school. We definitely learned about slavery and we definitely learned about all that shit in AP US history. But and also the other thing is I didn't go to high school in Atlanta, so maybe I would have been there in high school. But elementary, middle school, I mean, we learned the same bullshit everyone learned, like the first Thanksgiving and turkey, all that crap.
Yeah, I was just curious. Like, I'm not like, I don't recall a particularly good indigenous North American history that we got in my school either. But we talked about it.
The other thing about Atlanta, obviously, is if you're going to learn about the Civil War in Atlanta, it happened there.
Right.
The Battle of Peachtree Creek happened 2 blocks from where I grew up. We used to find mini balls in the backyard after a good rain.
Did they actually, did they call it the War of Northern Aggression, like when you were in school?
I never heard anyone use that seriously. My dad would use that when he was being sarcastic.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Didn't Sherman burn down Atlanta? I think that was a big thing.
Yeah,
right?
well, the burning down of Atlanta was an accident. The burning of Columbia, South Carolina was definitely on fucking purpose. But Atlanta was actually an accident. They didn't mean to burn it down. But yeah, Atlanta was burned down completely.
But let's put it in context. So basically, there was a project that the New York Times started in 2019, and they called it the 619 Project.
1619.
Yeah, the 1619 Project. So
1619 Project would be all about the Vikings.
Yeah, it was to counter the 1776 one, right, or whatever. Like, didn't Trump start one for education too, where they were just going to teach American white greatness or something?
Didn't that come after the 1619?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Basically, this 1619 Project highlighted how slavery and racism was projected throughout, the entire history of the United States, and this is what McConnell and his cronies wanted to block out. So,
I mean, it sucks for them, because the reality is yeah, I mean, the American history, the one that we actually have, is integral to who we are. Like, I mean, the things we did is who we are. Like, and like it or not, the only people that have a really hard time with this are white people that haven't accepted it. Like, but we did these things. It was our people. I mean, the reality is my ancestors. Well, my blood ancestors may have been here, but the families I was raised by were not here. But white people around the world benefited from the treatment of non-white people here in America, and the results still live today. Like, there's no way around that shit. You just gotta, I don't know, just fucking confront it. Fuck.
Yeah, but I think this goes back, and this is like, trying to understand, like, white, largely middle and upper class rage against Black Lives Matter, against whatever, like trying to understand that, like the only thing, and that ties into like anti-vax stuff and all that shit. The only thing I can come back to, and I've said this to both you guys, is there's a statistically significant chunk of white people out there who've never been told no.
Yeah.
And they're not going to start being told no. And I mean, never been told no as in like, cops can murder a black dude and 99% of the time get away with it.
All right, hold on a second. I want to interrupt us.
Yes.
One of us, and I think it's Don. Somebody has a weird audio thing going on, like almost like a
scratching.
Yeah. No, it's her.
Yeah, kind of figured that.
I'll move it away from her tail. Is that better?
Better.
Yeah. That's my in-house critic.
All right, so continue. What were you saying?
Cut it out. I muted myself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was my in-house. She's bored. She wants us to talk about something else.
All right, let's talk about cats. How are your cats doing?
They're good. I mean, it's tough being a pampered Manhattan house cat, With borium, actinium, oxygen, nitrogen. Okay.
Bacon.
Yeah, I just wondered what the elements were.
Wait, those can't actually be the elements of bacon, can they?
No, the bacon is made primarily of deliciousness.
Right.
Well, if it's acetinium, I would be very worried, especially if it's boron too, since that's a gas.
Well, so is oxygen.
Yeah, you're full of gas.
Yeah, so is nitrogen. Dude, no.
Anything can be a gas. Well,
true. Given enough heat, yes, true. Anything can be a gas. Although I think at the temperature which carbon becomes a gas, you really don't want to be in the same room.
yeah. Right.
Yeah. Kelvin. Who needs that friggin', unit of measurement of temperature?
Yeah, no. I think carbon melts at 5,000 Fahrenheit, 6. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's something crazy. Like, whatever,
But yet a cat will still lie down and poof, take up the entire floor when it reaches that temperature.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not these guys, but one of my last cats, one of them, she would actually sleep with her nose underneath the radiator when the radiator was on. Like, you could not get her hot enough.
Wow.
So, hey, is marijuana legalization, can you spark up on New York streets now? Is that cool?
I'm pretty sure that's the deal. I mean, again, don't quote me on it, but I think you can walk around and smoke right now. That's the part that happened immediately.
Well, let's look it up.
It's the selling that's going to take some time.
All right, but you can use, and the cops won't hassle anymore.
My understanding is that that's done.
I mean,
But
I don't.
Craig's
obviously-
gonna fact check it, but I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure that's the deal.
I mean, I don't, but it's still good fucking news. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know.
hell yeah.
Oh, hey, so did you have you ever seen the movie Synchronic?
No.
It's like a
Wait,
sci-fi thing.
synchronic, you said?
Yeah, synchronic, like
Oh.
chronic, like synchronicity almost.
Okay.
But anyway, you know, it's a sci-fi thing in Netflix. It's all right. But I thought of you because I was watching it last night. And they talked about generic ayahuasca.
Ah.
I was like, oh, Eric's on this.
All right, so this is from the Gothamist. You know what? Let me. I'll share the screen and then we can take a look at this. All right. So.
Oh, so age 21 or over.
Cuomo signed the historic marijuana legalization law. Can I smoke weed on the street? Wherever you can legally smoke tobacco, you can smoke pot.
Nice.
You are allowed up to 3 ounces, either at home or in public. Smoking tobacco is prohibited in city parks, so you can't smoke your...
Wait. Craig, scroll back up for a second. I so want to design the logo for the Office of Cannabis Management.
You and about 2 billion other people. So
because if that doesn't have Cheech and Chong in it, someone fucked up.
That doesn't... Willie Nelson, brother. I'm sorry. And wait, who else is a big... who else likes the sticky icky? I mean, Joe Rogan likes the sticky icky.
Oh shit! Some famous person keep seeing posts. The living Belushi, whichever one. John Belushi, is that
Jim?
the one? Jim Belushi. I've been seeing tons of people like retweet shit from him because he apparently sells dank weed now.
Oh wow! Seth Rogen's a big.
Oh yeah, Well, Seth Rogen's like 50% weed.
Pretty much.
Chong has had a business for a while.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm under 21 and the cops catch me smoking weed, what will happen? Minor possession of marijuana. It's a civil penalty, so it's not really.
It's a ticket.
It's a fine. Yeah, it's a ticket.
I mean, it's been a ticket for a little while.
What if I'm selling marijuana now? Can I keep selling it? It is a violation to sell any amount of marijuana unlawfully on the MRTA. So you basically need a license.
Yeah.
All right. So you can smoke it. You just can't.
You can't sell it.
You can't buy it. Basically.
This is the big one. And an NYPD officer stopped and search me because they smell weed. And no.
Yeah, that's a big thing, definitely. Because
even for an underage?
Underage, see this. You will get a
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like if a cop has a 16-year-old in front of him,
he'll take the
and he smells herb, can he search that? But he can search that kid?
Well, he'll check his age first. He'll check his ID to see
16-year-old smells like pot.
All right, so then minor possession of marijuana faces a civil penalty of $50.
Right, but he doesn't know it yet. All he does is smell it. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So Eric's question is smelling weed if someone's underage probable cause?
Yeah. Probably, actually.
Well, probable cause catch me smoking weed. Probable cause is basically I'm going to do it anyway. Come on, when has
I don't think you're understanding the question.
I do understand the question.
No,
I'm not going to stop a cop from saying, "Yeah, I know that he had weed on him." That's the excuse that they're going to make.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's a difference between what the law says and what a cop's going to do. Cop's going to do all kinds of shit. Cops don't know fucking drug laws for shit.
Cops don't know the law for shit, period.
Well, think about how a cop would approach it. First thing he's going to do is check your age because they're going to find out all the loopholes. Trust me, all these guys are going to get together and they're going to figure out every loophole out there.
All right, so you hear that, kids? Look like you're over 21.
Yeah, look like you're over 21, basically.
Good. Put on that, find some sand and some glue and just rub it on your face or something.
Just like when you
or cut up somebody's pubes.
When you go to 7-Eleven, you pass off your McLovin, Hawaiian license saying that you're over 21. Gotta do that.
Just have your fake Google ID, around your neck and just look exhausted all the time. So I'll think you're at Google, you work at Google and they'll be like, yeah, he needs the weed.
Can I still plant marijuana at home? All right. So it's technically unlawful, but there are no criminal penalties for it. Nice.
Huh. So your landlord can give you a hard time with that though. Yeah.
Maybe he could give you a hard time.
Just give your landlord an eighth and they'll shut up,
Yeah. Can I smoke weed indoors? No, it's technically illegal in a NYCHA building.
I was arrested for smoking marijuana.
Right, because you can't smoke cigarettes in there.
Will that go away now? Yes. So if you got caught smoking weed a few years ago,
they're expunging. Yeah, they're expunging, which is important.
What if I was arrested and convicted of selling weed? If you were convicted
selling
of fifth degree or fourth degree, anything less than 25 grams, your conviction will be automatically expunged.
Yeah, but 25 grams is like 25
That
grams.
sounds like nothing to me.
It's like 1/20th of a pound. What is that?
Oh, well, marijuana's light.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, all the drugs are light. But wait, can I get fired for using weed? That's an interesting one. Just wait, employment protections against being fired for a positive pot test, but if your job requires any sort of federal clearance, the prohibition, right, federal. Your boss can fire you for getting high on the job, just like they could fire you for drinking.
Yeah, which is fair.
That's
makes
fair.
sense,
I mean,
yeah.
like, as long as you're not under the influence or
I mean, where we were working, they did have some problems with people drinking. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was after hours.
But still, it was like it was on the
Technically.
location. It was still in
Yeah.
the work area, you know.
I'm not gonna drop a dime.
No.
No. Even later than who you're thinking of, Craig.
Okay.
I mean, because yeah, he started before work hours were over. But I don't even think you were there that night. There was one night that some people got really one dude in particular got really rowdy.
Yeah, and someone had to
A video dude.
Yeah, someone had to. I don't know if they put hands on him, but someone had to corral him. If I remember correctly.
He was out of control. Like, yeah, because he that's what drives me nuts about alcohol. Like, some people just get really fucking angry.
You mean
it's fucking weird.
It might have
and
been
aggressive.
the guy. It might have been
Tall
the guy,
dude, curly hair.
Yeah, but it might have been the guy wearing the bacon shirt that stepped in to intervene.
Oh, were you there for that?
I was the one who intervened.
Yeah, I stepped in too. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was the one who told me, "Get your hands off me!" Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And you guys wondered why I got the fuck out of there at 5:30 every day.
You're drunk. I don't care, man. Like, do whatever. You know.
I don't know. It's funny. Like I, as much as I've mellowed my ways, I still enjoy some nice conflict. It's always fun.
Like our conflict. I know you wanted to get on this, so let's get it over with.
Get motherfucker. Motherfucker.
What?
So listen to what this motherfucker does.
What did I miss?
So me and Craig are each working on a flashcard. He has one, I have one. And I need, so he's meching it, I'm meching it. And then I think I sent my mech out then I was doing the changes to my mech. And I had to grab the cover of his flashcard, right? Mm. And so I go in there, I see that he's got it open. So I'm like, hey, Craig, I just teams him. Like, do you think you could close that for a minute so I could grab it or whatever? And I forget what happened, but I didn't open it. I never opened it. This motherfucker starts coming at me with his file can't save. It's all fucked up. My fault. And I'm like, dude, I never opened it. I never touched it. I never moved it. Okay. And he was adamant. And dude, if there's one thing that I have unfortunately learned from my life, it is just bristling at accusations that are unfounded. And dude.
And that's fine. Apology.
Craig, the fuck's your problem?
Hey, apology would have been forthcoming had you not pulled a Trump and left out certain information.
What certain information?
Such as going off the deep end with, the amount of disparaging and cussing.
Oh, I'm a fuck with you, dude. No, yeah. You get me. You piss me off. I'm a fuck with you. That's the way I roll.
You're just and that part was like, okay, you want to play this game? I'm ending the conversation right now because I've developed a new attitude. I am not going to be
it's new and improved, Greg.
I am not going to be.
I am above the fray. No,
I am not going to get confrontation. Listen,
I never get confrontation.
I already had my confrontation once, and I don't want to deal with it. It was with that same dude that we don't get along with, and I just didn't want to bring that up again.
See, here's the difference. It's like, I can pound you, and so long as you're reticent enough eventually and forgive and come to me like I apologize, like supplicant enough, I'll accept you back.
I'm not groveling.
I already saw it.
Never happening. I'm never groveling to that.
I'm going to assume that Eric was the right one here just because.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Because, obviously.
All right, well, hold on a second. Do you believe me when I tell you I never opened the file?
Now, I believe you now.
Okay.
Now.
Why did it take so long for you to believe me? When I said that,
both hot-headed and going.
But no. Here's the thing: no matter how heated I get, I'm not lying. I may not include information that may not be helpful to my argument, but I'm not going to lie.
So let me let me follow that up is because I talked to the IT guy and he says that our server's been having hiccups. But basically,
That's what I said the whole time. I said I didn't even think it was your fault. I think it's a server fuck up, and I'm happy to be your ally and trying to resolve it. That was what I said, and then you came back
Look
and you
at
came back with more
trying to put
accusations.
yourself on the pedestal.
Dude, I'll pull the team
be-
fucking convo up
be-
if that's
be
what you
like-
want.
You can pull the team's convo up for whatever. Go ahead, dude. I
Nah,
mean,
we
like,
don't need to do that. We
Meanwhile,
just-
I can't get over the fact that I forgot to use a curly quote in the thing behind Craig there. I mean, Craig's terrible idea. I forgot to use the curly apostrophe. It's really bugging the fuck out of me.
kind of print production employee.
so I'm just
You
gonna.
fuck.
Oh, really? So I'm
No
just
wonder
gonna,
you can't find a fucking
I'm just
job.
gonna like, you know, where is it this way? It's this way. I'm just gonna like focus in on it right there and
Yeah, it's really annoying me.
Let it
Or maybe
annoy
that
Yeah, we'll call it Don's big fuck up. That's
maybe
our new
that
name
font
for our
doesn't
show.
have one. That's the other possibility.
Dude, fucking Sketch does that to me all the fucking time. Like, you know, you got the curly fucking apostrophes in there, route it, comes back again, you make some more changes and route it, and everybody's complaining about how every single fucking apostrophe is just straight. It just swaps them back. And it also with fucking superscripts, oh my god, sometimes like you don't even touch it. I did a round where I changed one image somewhere, and every single superscript got twice as small and like way up here over the line. It's just like,
Yeah, Sketch. I think one of the problems is that Sketch is being used for stuff it wasn't really meant to be used for. Like Sketch is a UI prototyping tool.
yeah.
It's not really meant to design an entire fucking website. You know what I'm saying?
But what do you use then?
I mean, there's really sort of a hole. Like one of the problems is you've got, you know, Photoshop, which is obviously good with art, but it's a pain in the ass to use. You've got Sketch, which is good, but has some like glaring problems.
yeah. 'Cause
And then
it's
you've
not-
got
it's
shit
not the-
like
it's-
Dreamweaver, but there's nothing sort of
It's
in
not a true
between.
typography. It's not a true typography.
Yeah,
like
like
InDesign.
Yeah, it's shit with typography, but I mean, at this point, they should recognize what they're being used for, which
I mean,
is
Adobe,
websites and emails and shit.
Adobe had Muse, but then they killed it off.
Mm.
And I taught myself Muse. Muse was pretty good for what it did. Like for the stuff that you know you guys do at the job, Muse would be really good because you can pull stuff together really quickly.
Dude,
and it's-
fucking is pushing me to learn fucking Adobe Experience Manager, like because apparently now like that's how we're gonna be building all our websites with that shitty ass WYSIWYG fucking, you know, like so because that's what the devs were having to use.
yeah, the
But-
devs and I remember.
But now the clients don't even want to see a sketch layout. They don't want to see that. They only want to see it after it's already in the Experience Manager, so they know that what they're getting
they
is
want
what
to
they
see
can
it.
get.
They want to see a beta up front, more or less.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't want to see stuff that they may have to say like, oh, we can't give that to you after all, you know.
And I remember talking back before, you know, coronavirus, and I was like, should I learn, because we were using Sketch, but also starting to use XD, and I'm like, should I use XD? And he was like, nah, I think we're going to stick with Sketch. So.
Yeah. For the layouts, we seem to be sticking with that.
Yeah, I put
Although
XD
like likes like stuff like Figma, like they like a bunch of other things. They like almost everything else better than Sketch, but they're like, yeah, this is what we're riding with.
Who's using
Yeah.
Figma? Seriously. Who's
Uh,
using Figma?
I
He
use
likes it.
Figma.
Oh shit, bleep.
Yep.
I've got friends who are web devs who use Figma.
Yeah.
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 If I remember right, I think that had some pretty cool prototyping tools and some animation stuff in there.
And
if I
the thing
remember
about Figma is you can actually build a website in it, unlike Sketch. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to
So-
see.
so-
Fast enough shop.
So my unemployment benefit year runs out in 2 weeks.
What happens?
I can reapply.
Oh, then you're good.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I did not plan to be unemployed for a fucking.
We are
year.
working our ass. I am literally reaching out to every.
No, I'm not throwing shade at you. I'm just saying that, like, if you had asked, like, February 2020, if you had asked me where I saw myself in May of 2021, unemployed for a year was not on the list.
I was unemployed for almost 10 months, so I know exactly what you're going through.
You know, and I mean, yeah, as you guys know, I thought I'd be full time at, you know, working with you guys.
We want you back. I mean, I keep pestering when we get busy at work, like, you know.
Yeah, well, he's on board. Like when the work picks up, Don's our guy, assuming he's available.
Yeah, I
But-
know. I know. I'm not angry at anyone. I'm not blaming.
By the way, I have to bleep
I'm
that
angry at
out,
fucking
too.
Trump, and I blame Donald Trump. But I don't blame anyone on and no, I don't blame anyone. It's just like,
Oh man, I gotta do.
this is
Wi-Fi.
what happens when you have people in government who don't believe in government.
Mm.
But the job market's picking up.
Slowly. It's picking up.
And just for shits and giggles, I actually handed in my job application at Trader Joe's. So
Again.
again,
Keep not getting a call back.
I
Put me as a
somehow they
reference.
just-
Put me as a reference.
no, somehow they just keep.
I got a
figuring out-
lot of supermarket experience.
They keep figuring out I'm some dark, angry dude that's just waiting to pop. I mean, like everybody.
It's the stupid Darth Vader, like whatever icon in your chats with them. or
I mean,
whatever.
I wore my Hawaiian shirt. I had my AR-15 slung across my back. And I just kept saying, "Hey, I'm with the Boog," and
It's because you gave me and Erica's references. That was a bad
idea.
Craig, don't hire him.
supermarket.
No.
Give me a fucking reference.
Seriously, I would.
Dude, with fucking supermarkets, dude. Fucking when I was in high school, so I in my senior year, I went into this work co-op program where I could leave school early and go to work, right? And I worked in the supermarket, but there was a couple things you had to do. Well, first of all, you had to have a job, which I had, and you had to join this thing called DECA, Distributive Educative Clubs of America, and so I went into the what would they call it? Not food service, whatever supermarkets would be classified under. Dude, I got first place in New Jersey, like all of New Jersey, for the written exam.
Yeah.
And then the next day was going to be the role plays. Like, so you work with like a proctor, like they play the customer or whatever the fuck, and they provide you with a problem. And I fucked those up big time because the night before was the first time I ever smoked pot. So I was just like, I was out. But yeah, no, supermarket shit. That's my shit. Oh, I would work in a supermarket in a second.
Yeah, go Trader
If they
Joe's.
just fucking pay me.
It's 17.
You know what? I got to
an
tell
hour.
you, if
What?
Trader Joe's or like fucking whatever, Gristedes paid me enough to pay my rent stuff, I would work there in a heartbeat.
In a second.
Give me a
17
job where I do my job. It's done. I go home. I don't.
I'll run a register. I'll fucking
right.
stock the cereal aisle. That's my
Yeah.
shit.
17.25 an hour, right? After 24 hours a week, you get benefits, right? And you have the opportunity after 6 months of service, depending on how your review goes, you can run up to becoming an assistant manager to a manager of a store.
Yeah, but 17.25 an hour, man. That's just.
That's a cut
You know
for
what?
us, dude.
17.25 as opposed to 0 an hour. I'll take 17.25.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but you're working right now. You got a job right now.
Yeah, you're currently.
And when
making-
I was unemployed, I went to Home
Oh.
Depot.
Yeah.
I went to who else did I go to? It was Home Depot, Lowe's, PC Richards. I was willing to go work. I mean, I was even gonna flip burgers if things weren't gonna just to survive, just to float, to keep myself busy because I was going nuts. I mean, I don't know how it is for you, Don. I know you have freelance projects here and there, but at the time, this was I think the 2001 or 2002 recession. I mean, I had nothing. Like,
I know I was able to get through that one. The one after that, so 9/11, I was able to scrape through. It was the one after that when
2008.
when Bush 2 killed the economy.
Yeah.
That's when shit got rough, and that's when I ended up getting.
That's when where I work now laid me off the first time.
Yeah, I ended up getting. Okay, you got to stop walking back and forth in front of the camera. Sorry. I ended up getting a full-time job at another pharma place and stayed there for 2.5 years until they downsized a bunch of us. That one, but like the Bush economic miracle, that was fucking rough.
Have you ever thought about doing IP work? I mean, are you good with?
I mean, I've thought about it. One of the things I'm looking at so New York State has a program called 599, where they will give you unemployment and they will waive you having to look for work as long as you're in like a training program. So I've been looking at some of the boot camps out there.
Okay.
So I've also been seeing these signs around, like they'll give you OSHA training, like on the job, and you get to be like a low-level construction worker. Go for it.
Or
Just
if
fucking
you
with you.
want,
Don isn't amused.
I know. Or if you
No,
want,
the thing about construction though is I think.
No,
the
this
thing about
is for the immigrants, dude. Come on.
I know, but here's the thing. Like, I think if you're young, Like if you're
Yeah,
like
hell yeah.
24, 25, like it can be a good thing, but the problem is I know it's really rough on your body.
Oh, of
Well,
course.
how about
Yeah.
do what I did as a second job? I actually worked in a lab testing for asbestos, and it's not
I
as
know
bad
you
as
told us this fucking
it is
story.
not as bad as it sounds.
Sounds pretty bad.
It's not bad. Well, there's asbestos abatement where you put on the suit and you actually
Yeah.
go and clean it. That pays $35 an hour.
And you said that was like one of the hardest days you've ever done in your life.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Could you imagine working 8 hours in a full containment suit? I mean, I lost like
That
40
sounds like
pounds, 40 pounds of fucking water weight, and then you have to shower when you get out, and you got to do it all over again. And you're going into disgusting, like really filthy places. So if you can deal with something like that, but if you're a lab assistant, I mean, you're basically taking air samples, which is already on a filter, and you have a hood, and you're basically cutting up these filters, putting them on slides, and you're giving it to the lab technician to read. Right? If you need to do that, I have a friend who will help you out with that. If you
How much did it pay you?
So this is back in 2005, 2006. It paid me $12 an hour.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I
Now-
did make $75 last week.
Okay.
Hey.
But now it's probably going to pay 17 plus, depending on, depending when you first start off. So again, is $17 enough to live off of, what we have? No, not really. I mean,
No.
but and the thing that I had to weigh against myself was like, do I want unemployment, which I got an automatic. So I filled out, and I made max. I think every week it's $600 minus taxes. So I got about $450. Yeah, about $450 every week. Right.
Now, New York's max right now is 504.
That's after taxes?
No, that's total 504.
Really? Because
Yeah.
back then it was 600.
No, it's never been that high.
Yeah, that's because why would I get it after taxes? I would be getting 450.
I'm not sure, but I don't know because I don't think it's ever been that high. Maybe
Maybe
you were
turned
that
off
high.
taxes.
Maybe you were that high, Craig.
I wish I was that.
I mean, anytime I've been on unemployment, I said, like, do not take out any taxes. Just let me have all this money. I assume I'll make more later and I'll make the difference.
Oh, you pay it off
Yeah.
later on?
Like I need all this money now,
That's true. No, I told him to take everything out because I don't want to deal with the hassle.
Yeah. I mean, it's a risky road, but
It is a risky
know.
road. But if you want, I can, at least it'll keep you afloat. I mean, like I said, I might even take a second job on the weekends just to try and like
Fuck
pay off
that.
the weekend. Wait, fuck that. Oh, you have
no, you do whatever you want.
You have a
You do whatever
kid.
you want. Yeah, my wife would kill me if I got to
Yeah,
say.
your life would kill you, but dude, I would love to work in Trader Joe's, please. I mean, like, could you imagine? I'm just standing there and like just the guy holding the sign to tell people where the line starts. How awesome
Craig,
would that be?
if you get the job at Trader Joe's, you got to tell us so we can come and make your day a living hell.
Yeah.
Go right on ahead. Go right on ahead, man. I'll have.
I'll ask you for all the various foods that Trader Joe's doesn't carry.
You can keep coming up with the same banana saying this is spoiled. It's got a bruise on it. Yeah, it's not. Dude, I swear to God, that's what happened. Like I was in Trader Joe's the other day. I heard this one lady just bitching about how there are bruises all over the bananas, and the guys. I'm like, these people. I swear to God, they're like, they must be Mother Teresa incarnate because they just smiled and said, "Let me go and check this for you." And they brought back another banana, and she would find another blemish. I was like, "This is not really what I want." It's like,
I credit anyone who works facing the public in New York City, seriously. Because
Yeah, it
we
could
are
be
some of the, I mean, not all of us, but some of us are some of the biggest dicks on the
Oh,
planet.
sure.
Oh my God.
try being
I mean,
a bartender.
the reality is that there's the biggest dicks on the planet everywhere. So
Yeah.
anywhere that you're working public facing, you're gonna find all
Yeah,
of
but
those assholes, and they're gonna find
New
you.
York, there's New York idiots, right?
They're
There's
different,
New York
but
Karens.
There's idiots everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh my
there's
God.
trust. Yeah, Eric's absolutely right. There's fucking idiots
Could you
everywhere.
imagine running into
Dude, imagine working fucking supermarkets and like again, when I did my supermarket time at first, it was in Jersey. Oh, those suburban motherfuckers are the worst.
the birch?
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like the corner of my cereal box is slightly crimped. Fuck off.
That's the same thing with Long Island and Queens and Queens Karen.
Yeah,
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
same shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my point, really.
Or work in a supermarket in Jewish dominated Forest Hills.
All right, what do you
The
do? Wait, where are we going with
Uh-oh,
this?
uh-oh.
The
Take time.
The coupon expired only yesterday. You
Wow.
can't honor-
Wow, dude.
Seriously.
Wow.
I swear.
Wow.
Seriously.
Jew and coupon in
I'm
the same sentence?
serious, dude.
Not allowed.
I'm serious.
Oh, trust me, I know you're serious. I know you're. I'm mostly just fucking with you. But
Did
yeah, I
either
think
one of you ever see American Splendor, the movie?
no.
Oh.
First, you have to tell me where you are.
Oh, Siri, sweetheart, I'm not talking to you. Thank you.
Wow, you let that bitch in your house?
No, you know what I realized? Because I can just say, the one thing I use it for is I say, Siri, play whatever, because, I have Apple Music, and like anything I can think of, they play like that. Well, actually, that's not true. They don't have Husker Du, which annoys me. They don't have a lot of stuff from SST Records. But, if I'm in the mood for, whatever, songs from my childhood, they've got it. No, I won't let Alexa in my house because Jeff Bezos knows too much about me already.
And Siri doesn't. That's why I turned it off.
No, it's because she kept telling you to get fucked.
I don't even have facial recognition on this stupid phone. There's no way I
have an old phone. My phone doesn't have that.
Facial recognition. There's another thing for the cops to fucking,
So 2 summers ago, I was one of the teachers for Harlan Children's Zone for their summer session. And because it's DOE, like you have to get fingerprinted, you have to do all the stuff. So one of the things I had to do is I had to go get pictures taken. So I went to this place in downtown Brooklyn, wait in line. They take my pictures. I'm sitting down. I'm talking to the woman working there. She's like, filing the paper and all that stuff. She says, "Congratulations, you're now in the FBI's facial recognition database."
Nice. I feel like we all are, man.
But not only that, because I'm fingerprinted, my prints are in the system now too.
Well, if you've ever been arrested,
I've been arrested. So
it's going to be.
I have never been caught. No.
Never convicted.
Good job.
No, I've never been caught. Remember?
No, you get printed when you get caught, dude. You don't got to yet.
It's legal unless you get caught.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I've never been caught. But it was like, oh, I guess I'm in the facial recognition database. Oh well.
The Washington Post and New York Times had to retract that thing on Giuliani that the FBI never approached him.
Oh, did they not?
Yeah, they technically didn't.
Yeah, you know what? I would sit on that and wait for a while, just because there's been so many fucking twists and turns in the story. I would wait on that and see if that holds.
Yeah. So what was the story? Was it a leak?
The story. So one of the things the FBI will do, if the FBI thinks that someone in government or near government or whatever is around people who might try and co-opt them for foreign intelligence, they'll basically have a sit-down meeting with you and say, we believe that you may be a target of the intelligence services of whatever, Ukraine, Russia, China, whatever. Yeah. So basically what you're supposed to do after that meeting is, one, completely cut off contact with those people, and two, tell the FBI if anything happens. So the assumption was Giuliani had one of those meetings, so he knew that all of these sketchy people he was talking to in Ukraine were bad. But they retracted that story. But this, like I said, there's been so many twists and turns in this. I'm like, okay, we'll see.
How are you supposed to talk to any Ukrainians? Aren't they all bad? I'm just kidding.
Are they? I don't know.
They're Eastern European. That's the only group I'm racist against.
What did they ever do to you?
Really? You don't think the Ukrainians though is a buffer between? I mean, like, dude, why would Russia mass all those troops on the Ukrainian?
I'm including Russians in my racism.
The Ukraine is a buffer, to the western part of Europe.
It's all terrible.
It is. Well, I mean, they already took over. What was that naval base they took over?
Crimea.
Yeah, Crimea. The Crimean Peninsula, right? Mm-hmm. Now they have access to the Black Sea, which goes into the Mediterranean. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, dude. I mean,
the big reason that the Russians are in Libya is they want a port in the Med.
I thought they were in Syria. That's what they want.
Sorry, you're right. My mistake. Syria is they want a port in the Med, because other than that, the only port the Russian Navy has that doesn't freeze year round is Vladivostok.
And same thing goes for China. China wants, there's mineral rights in the South China Sea. Just because it says China in the name doesn't mean it belongs to you. Like, we're the United States of America, but we don't own both North and Southern Hemisphere. The North and Southern continent.
Well,
we don't.
Yeah, we don't really. Oh. We talk to Venezuela. Look at those guys. Do we own Venezuela? Not
really. We should have been fucking owning them on and off.
We should have, but we didn't. I don't know. But my biggest worry right now is, like, the voting law. So like reading how Florida just stifled it, Michigan, Georgia, and there was one more. I think Arizona's starting to look into this.
What is this? Is all the mail-in shit?
No, yeah, it's
Well,
the voter.
this is Republicans basically making sure that only white people vote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But you know, well, only their guys vote. We
True.
we shouldn't even say. I mean, Tim Scott. Look at that guy. But making sure that people who will take the time out to go jump through all the hoops to vote. What they're relying on is people not wanting to take it a step further. But I think they are underestimating people of color because after seeing all the shady shit the Republicans have done, do we want to go back there? I don't believe we do.
Well,
So,
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I think another thing they count on is disillusionment. You know what I mean? Like just people not going through the effort. Like so, like yeah, you could jump through all the hoops, but a lot of people just fucking won't.
and hopefully it's racial stereotyping where they think that all people of color are lazy and they just don't want to
I don't even. I think the cynicism of the GOP is such that I don't even know if they believe in those racial stereotypes. They just know that the only way they're going to continue to win elections is if they restrict the voting population to just their supporters. So I think everything is like ex post facto. It's like, I don't know if they actually think that people are lazy. They might say that because it's an excuse, but this is just, they just want to remain in power. That's all. And they want to do it anti-democratically. So, whatever excuse
they have to do it anti-democratically.
Yeah, they have to. Exactly. I mean, look what happened in Virginia over the last 10 years. Virginia went from red to blue over the last 10 years.
And Texas Texas.
Well, I don't know about Texas. Georgia's trending that way. And that's what I think scares them is this idea that white people aren't going to automatically be in charge now. Because,
all the traitors like us.
Exactly. Well, the best comment and it was on Twitter, and it was a long time ago, and someone, much wittier than me. But basically some Republican shithead was ranting about, Black Lives Matter and wokeness and all that stuff. And someone basically said, oh, so you're worried that Black people are going to treat you like you've treated Black people for 400 years. And I was like, that's pretty much it.
Right. But I think the other news story was that Republicans are trying to reformat or change the Constitution. They're trying to get enough states to.
Yeah, they've been trying to do that for a while now, and it ain't happened.
No, but it's getting close, according to this.
Well, it was closer after. I think it was close after 2010.
Yeah.
No, it's not as close as it has been. I mean, they were within like 2 or 3 states of doing it. Now they're not quite that close. They want to do a constitutional convention, which has been like this Republican wet dream for back since probably at least Goldwater.
I mean, let's look at this map.
Well, yeah, you have to scroll up because I don't know what that map's for.
All right, so basically this is the article, no Republicans don't control them. This is
from
the Washington Post. But it's close. So,
yeah, it's been close for a while.
So option 1, start with Congress, take it to the states. Right? 2/3 majority in the chambers of Congress has to agree to it.
Yeah, which isn't going to happen.
But they're getting close.
They're not going to get 2/3 in Congress. It ain't going to happen.
When was this written? This was written in 2016. So that's why this is 2016 because now the Democrats control the House.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but still, I mean.
Well, I mean, we've been saying all right. So I think with Trump, they showed their hand that the Republican Party has entered, in my opinion, I think they've entered endgame. We need to keep them away from power, or we're kind of fucked. But they have to attain that power in order to do these things. I think the fight we got to have now is making sure they don't get that power. We got to keep the majorities out of their hand.
Right. So when you say endgame, we finally expose them for who they are, and now they have to go for broke, or it's all.
I think that party has made it plain that they no longer believe in democracy at this point.
So how can you consider yourself American? Why do people still want to vote for that?
Well, I mean, the United States wasn't democratic in the way we think of it today when it started either.
No.
I don't own my property. I wouldn't have gotten a vote back then, as white as I am.
And
know?
like, I mean, women didn't get to vote until what, 1922?
Right.
19...
Yeah, something like that.
So, like before that, half the population couldn't fucking vote. So to Eric's point, there's the American ideals and there's the actuality. And while they've been coming closer, they've never been, we've never as a country ever lived up to our ideals ever.
Yeah. And I mean, like in, any I don't know, the way I think of conservatism is they harken back to whatever system was before. Like these motherfuckers would be, would line up behind monarchies in a fucking second, in my opinion, as long as the monarchies lifted their race or their interests above, all these others.
Yeah, I think so.
So it just comes down to race. That's just it, plain and simple.
I mean, I don't know if they all, I would say class. But I mean, that in the modern era that has, been fairly aligned with race. But yeah, I mean, class. Like, I mean, again, like, all the rednecks that, like, or the white trash, you know what I mean? Like, how you have to put white in the front because they're the exception. Like, you expect, people that are non-white to be down there, but those white trash people, they would not have been included. They didn't own shit.
But then why do they still support that crap? Because
I don't know. I mean, because they've been snowed by the propaganda that they've been fed for a long ass time. Race.
But I think it also goes down to, there's a quote by Lyndon Johnson, and he basically says, if you can convince the poorest white man that he's better than the poorest black man, he'll basically stand there while you pick his pocket.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that the Republicans have been very good at, is this message of basically targeting groups, specifically groups of white people, and basically saying that, promising them that we'll make sure that you always get the benefit of the doubt. Now, of course, that doesn't follow through because, if you look at the southern states, like, anti-union, poor wages, poor health care, poor health outcomes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's still that, it's like that intrinsic promise that, like, no matter what happens, we'll always tell you that this is your country, you belong here, blah, blah, blah. They'll always give them that lift and say that we believe in you, even if we're fucking you.
Like all the lies that asshole Trump told the American blue collar worker. Oh yeah, Foxconn's going to open up this huge factory, 100,000 jobs in Oklahoma. They didn't even break ground for that shit.
Wisconsin.
Was Wisconsin? No, I thought it was Oklahoma, but yeah, all right, Wisconsin. Didn't break ground for that. The guys who were manufacturing air conditioning parts, and Trump said, yeah, I'll convince the owners not to move their shit down to Mexico, and what happened? They moved it down to Mexico, So, at the truckers' union, I mean, God knows how many times the Republicans have lied, made all these promises, never followed through, and then your quality of life, just got shittier.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. There's been a very tenuous, like, correlation between what Republicans talk about and get their voters excited about versus what they actually do for a long time. You know what I mean? It's just the same, like, I mean, again, like what the flavor du jour is all the fucking anti-trans shit that they're doing everywhere. Like some of these states have 12, like I forget what, one of these fucking states has 12 trans kids that are interested in playing sports. And yet their state government is like touting this. Like it's like they're just use certain subjects to get people excited, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like it's not in no way does this issue affect their daily lives. Actually, I heard the same argument regarding why didn't we see tons of protests for Derek Chauvin after he was found guilty? Well, because these guys claim to care so much about it, but it has nothing to do with their survival. It doesn't actually affect their day.
When you say protests, you're talking about white protesters?
Yeah, white protests. Like, because they seem to be up in arms about this motherfucker being found guilty for murder, but nobody showed up and did nothing because it doesn't matter.
I think.
Whereas, like, when George Floyd got killed, like black people came to the streets because it's like, yeah, that could very easily be me. I think, but no white guy thinks like, oh, that Derek Chauvin guy, that could be me. Well, this isn't life or death for them.
Right. Well, the litmus test will be Kyle Rittenhouse. That's where you're going to see who comes out of the woodwork.
If Rittenhouse, wait, have they captured him yet, or is he still on the
No, Rittenhouse. He's been in jail. He got put back in. He violated the terms of his parole. Yeah, he hung out with white supremacists. He was in a bar with his mother drinking. right? And he got caught on tape. And then they threw his ass back in a slammer. And then you have all these asshole cops donating to his fucking defense fund.
I guarantee you, if Rittenhouse gets found guilty, there will be no protests, nothing.
Yeah, I guarantee there'll be no protests either. And like all these guys that are getting thrown in jail from the Capitol riot, should there be a big protest about that? Oh, you're jailing patriots and shit. And this is why, you know, sometimes I fear that, you know, white supremacists are going to take over and we're all fucked, as opposed to, you know, logically, they're losing a lot of these battles. Justice is actually
lose all the battles eventually.
Yeah, justice is actually being delivered, and you know things are slowly getting better. So I guess it's the 4 years of like, heart wrenching terror under, you know, that orange asshole. You know, never believe that how could this day get any worse until he opens his mouth. And now,
I think this goes back to Eric's point, which is that the thing that happened under Trump was that he started saying all the quiet shit out loud. So Reagan talked about welfare queens. You know, Nixon talked about law and order and a silent majority. You know, Bush too talked shit all the time, but there were all these code words.
Yeah, I mean, all the way back to the Reconstruction. We talked about that before. Yeah.
But now they're not even using the code words anymore, because
they're not.
Now it's just out in the open. And even though I think in some ways that's scarier, because any illusion that there could have been that, yeah, we can find common ground with these cocksuckers is gone. But I think, like Eric, you know, to Eric's point, like the fact that it's out in the open now is sort of oddly good, because if you're going to now stake your claim to being a Republican, we know what you stand for now. There is no compassionate conservatism. There is no deficit. There is no smaller government.
And I think that's also tough for them also, because it's like, okay, this is who you are. It's much more plain now. Yeah. It's much more harder for them to fool people into walking with them. You know what I mean? So it's sure they'll find some people that are willing to walk with them.
So why don't they?
But you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be harder to pull off like what the internet pulled off, like you know, in 2016, and bringing Trump all these new people and all these driving so many people so far to the right. Well, now we know exactly what the hard right is.
All right. So why don't they jump ship? Why doesn't Romney jump ship? Why doesn't Cheney jump ship?
Well, because he's still a conservative. He still doesn't. I mean, he still doesn't agree with abortion. He still doesn't agree with gayness. He still doesn't. All of these things.
Yeah, he still wants low corporate taxes. He still wants, you know, basically. I think what Romney wants Republicanism before Trump.
He's not going to get it back under the Republican banner.
No,
I agree.
It's better than,
you know, Romney wants Bush #2.
So call himself a Whig. Call him what are the other?
But then what do you get? Like we talked about that before too. Like this is a two-party country. That this system is very much favors the two fucking parties. A third one has a very hard time on a national scale.
Let's think
local is different.
Right. So what was the real death knell for the Republican Party? The real death knell was when the Tea Party was formed. So basically, they wormed their way in. They started bringing all these people. They started bringing in all their conspiracy theories. They started bringing all these new things that, you know, the Republicans should have done, that the old hardcore Republicans should have done, but they didn't have the balls to do it. And all of a sudden, they took the party over.
Well, but I mean, this is their own making. Like, because again, like they've been playing like a certain propaganda game for a very long time.
Yeah. I mean,
and what it started to do was you're eventually going to drive, like you're feeding your people crazy shit. They're going to start making up their own crazy shit.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean? And they're going to be very hard to control, and they're going to do an insurrection or God knows what.
They're buying into it. Why are they still fucking in power? Why is Boebert still in power? Why is Green still there? Why is Hawthorne still there?
Because they have maniacs behind them. What do you mean?
Well, and if you're asking, like, why haven't they been kicked out yet?
Right.
Well, the investigation is ongoing.
Who's that little creep in the wheelchair? What the fuck is that?
Hawthorne.
No, there's Hawthorne, and then there's Cawthorne, right? Hawthorne.
But you're thinking Josh Hawley's the guy who did.
You're thinking of Stephen Hawking.
Oh, Hawley.
That motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yo, I saw
Black Hole Entropy.
What was that movie with Eddie Redmayne? That was a fucking good movie about
Which one?
It was about his. He plays Stephen Hawking.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It was really good, and like, yo, Stephen Hawking was a womanizer, dude.
Yeah. What?
I didn't know this. He went through 3 wives, bro.
Oh. Well, having 3 wives doesn't make you a womanizer.
Well, yeah, but Craig, you also have to understand, like, Hawking was in the middle of, like, swinging 60s in London, so,
Yeah, baby.
When he was a
Brain
young,
is
Be
not,
like, yeah, baby.
yeah, the brain is not the only thing that's big. Baby.
when Hawking was a young man, like it was, you had hate, they had hippie stuff here, you had swinging 60s in London, like, that was the thing. I mean, I don't know if he was a sexist asshole. I have no idea. I'm not excusing that if he
From
was.
what I'm understanding, he was an abusive asshole.
What?
He was an abusive asshole.
No, that's
Really?
To his first or second wife, but then his third wife just basically whipped his ass in shape.
so bad she put his ass in a wheelchair, apparently.
Apparently. Who else was a really? I don't know. Albert Einstein was a fucking a torrid whatchamacallit, a torrid poon hound.
Was he? I thought him and his wife had this great love affair.
I don't know. No, not from what I'm left to understand. Like that dude cheated on his wife several times.
Pablo Picasso was a terrible human being, in addition to being an incredibly gifted artist.
Gandhi had, I think.
Well, he was racist, right?
Well, he had naked. From what I'm understanding, he had naked teenage girls sleep with him. I mean,
No, they just couldn't afford clothes.
Not sexually, but just literally lie in the same bed with him.
Yeah, wasn't it like he wanted to see if he could defeat his temptation or something? I don't know.
Oh my God.
I mean, you guys have seen all the pussy I have walking around here, so.
That's why I lock my doors, to prevent my cat from coming in and starting stupid shit.
But if I lock the door, all you'll hear is meow, meow, meow.
At least your cat knocks on my fucking cat. Yo, listen, dude, I have so many scars over my body, right? People are asking, like, when did you get stabbed? It's not a stab. It's a cat. This is one of my cat.
Craig, you can trim their claws, right?
Have you ever tried to trim a cat's claw when they didn't want it to be trimmed?
Well, they never want them to be trimmed. But yeah, your cat seems like
once
it might be a little hard
to it, they're okay with it. So, dude, Craig, you take a blanket, you make a big burrito out of them. You take out one claw at a time.
Tried it.
You give them feline morphine.
Tried it. There's feline drugs out there besides catnip. There's cat one. I was walking in Petco.
There's CBD shit, and there's
Wait, is CBD good for cats? I mean, can they take?
It's supposed like for cats and dogs supposedly. Yeah, no, there's I don't know if it's good for them, but people sell shit. But it apparently chills them out, and you can also get them like feline Xanax.
Wait, is CBD
for
good
neurotic
for
cats?
Let me see.
You know what we get? We have a little plug-in called Fellaway or Feelaway, and it basically shit. I forget exactly what it. What's the shit that animals exude but we don't?
Pheromones.
Pheromones, yeah, pheromones. Like so, it apparently releases pheromones into the air and it just chills them out a little bit. And from our anecdotal evidence, it seems to fucking work.
I think we have pheromones. I just don't think we have the sense of smell to like really.
Oh.
All right, so this is from Pet. I didn't even know they had a thing for Pet MD for pets. Look at this shit. You have WebMD for us. CBD Safe for Cats. What is CBD?
We know what it is. Keep going.
Oh, we know what it is. Has research been done for CBD for cats? As far as no scientific studies have been published regarding the use of CBD of cats. So, is CBD Safe Cats? Based on reports from veterinarians and pet parents, CBD itself appears on the surface.
Appears to be very safe.
Appears. Well, there's only one way to find out.
Give it to your cat.
Yeah, give it to your cat. I don't know. That would be a bad idea.
I don't know. Yeah, we have some friends that give, I think, some CBD somethings to their dog. And this dog was a rescue and smaller dog, and you know how they can just be like, like fucking crazy little monsters. And apparently it's chilled him out. He seems to be more chill he seems to be more chill now, but he's also, as time goes by, it's a fairly new home for the dog. So he could just be getting adjusted to, and he had a tooth pulled. So I'm sure that had an impact on his state of mind as well.
That's gonna suck.
How it hurts thinking about.
I was thinking about getting that backpack for my friend. A friend of mine, she has 3 cats, so she
cat pack.
A cat pack, right? Literally like a little bathysphere.
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
So I wore one for her. So she put her cat in the bag, and the poor cat's just sitting there staring out at the fucking plastic bubble. And I'm walking around. I'm walking around the supermarket, and people are staring at me. I'm like, and I'm just wondering, like, I keep asking her, is the cat okay? Yeah, he's just chilling out. He's just looking all over the place. I'm like, I would
Ground control to Major Tom.
Dude, I would like to do that. Bring her out. My wife bitches at me. She doesn't want her to go out because she's afraid she's gonna get fleas or ticks or pick up some fucking weird disease from outside or.
Oh, my wife's just afraid she'll run away. Like Indigo wants us to fucking put a leash on Raji so bad.
Have
But
you ever tried to put a leash on a cat?
I have. I put one on my Jedi, the one we had when we were out in Coney Island, and he wore it, but he walked really low, and he just was not happy. I mean, if I imagine if we kept with it, he might have gotten more used to it, but because he was originally a feral cat, so he always he never got over wanting to go back outside. So it was like I was trying to find a happy medium for him.
My old apartment when I had my old cat. So I got my old cat because when I lived in Brooklyn, I lived with that cat's dad.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Manhattan, and he was the drummer for Marcy Playground, and they started touring a lot, and they got successful. And so Dan Reeser, so he came to me, he was like, "Hey, listen, I'm on the road a lot. Max, who's a cat, is she's at home a lot. I know Max knows you. Would you take her?" And I said, "Yeah." So Max went from living in Brooklyn in a place where she got to go outside fairly regularly to living in downtown Manhattan, and she never got over not wanting to go outside. So one day, this was when I was living in the old apartment, I was like, all right, let's do it. So I let her go down the hall. I let her go down the front steps onto 14th Street. She walks out the front door. A bus pulls up, stops, air brakes go. She turns around, runs back up the stairs. She never wanted to go outside in the street ever again.
There you go.
There you go. Listen, I put a collar around my cat. She just flopped on the floor and didn't move. It's like I put a slave collar on her or some shit like that.
Well, Craig, I will tell you from my personal experience, once your cats get used to having their claws trimmed, they calm down about it. They do. Now I can just pick them up, flop them on my lap, trim their claws, and they just look at me like, all right.
Yeah, just don't actually cut into the live shit, because you'll reinforce that this is something they don't want.
But you can tell though, because it's literally red.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying, it's just it's like they struggle, and then okay, that wasn't so bad. Next time they'll struggle a little less, and so on and so forth. Well, so long as you don't hurt them.
I've been doing the treats. Like every nail that I cut, she gets a tiny little. So
Craig, for the low price of $125, I will come to Queens and I will trim your cat's claws.
I will think about that.
Might be worth it.
Yeah, I know, might be worth it. I'll think about that.
And if you get the parts together, I'll build your PC for you too.
You know what? Seriously, I've been, God.
Dude, my PC has been so fucking stable.
I mean, listen, I know, I would love to do it you three guys and our other friend, we all have PCs. I'm the only idiot console
The one who's good.
Yeah, the one who's good, but I'm the only console idiot, so I'm pretty, and I don't want to buy PS5. So yeah,
I thought the dude who joined us last weekend was console too. Was he PC?
No, King is on PS5 also.
Yes, yeah, he's console.
Yeah, King is console, but King is not like us. He's not gonna run. He likes playing with us, right? If we played with my other crew, forget it, dude. They go out and hunt people. I mean, they're good at what they do, but King likes to do it
like us.
We sneak around. We don't get too involved, right? We're trying to win, like in a real survival game, like winning and
You're a
plundering.
bunch of tryhards, got it.
Well,
and then there's me accidentally throwing flashbangs at our feet all the time.
Yeah, right.
And driving 12 whatever 18-wheeler trucks into the side of the building you guys are in. Everyone's gonna hear us. Oh, are they?
I just love Simon, so I was like, is that Eric?
Did you break glass?
Seriously, hopping in and out of each unbroken window. Yeah.
I like breaking glass just because the tinkle sound it makes.
Yeah, it's fun.
Seriously though, next time we're in the last circle or the next to last circle, we got to get up on the fucking roof.
Those guys, so the really good players, we all know, they jump dead center and they hold it. They're already in position by the time they're waiting. They're gatekeepers.
But we still got it. Next time that happens, we still got to get on the roof just for a fighting chance, man.
Wait a minute. How do the good guys know where the circle's going to be?
Because the circle is the circle is shown before the map, and you can basically gauge where the center of them.
You mean to tell me it just keeps getting smaller in the same spot?
Yeah.
No,
Like all right, so hold on. Like
It's
for
off center.
PUBG, it would have like a big circle, and then the next one might be over here.
Yeah.
No,
And the next one is like over here. It's
No,
not
no,
always
no, no.
centered. This
It's
is always centered.
No, it's always
Oh.
centered. It's
Oh,
Are you
we should always
Craig, are
book
you
to the center.
sure?
You sure?
I'm
Are you
positive.
sure it's always
I am-
centered? Because I've
I am
played some solo
positive.
matches where it wasn't.
I am positive.
Nah, that feels game breaking. Fuck
I'm
that shit.
gonna-
Like
I'm gonna record-
it should be like
right.
randomized
Wait.
within the circle.
Let's
I'm gonna-
ask Simon because Simon will know.
Right, I'm going to record our next session.
That'll be a short recording.
We did good. Hey, we did good in Plunder. Hey, and here's the other thing too. So for recording on on my PS5, there's an option where I can only save the last 15 minutes of play, or if I want to record the entire thing, I got to go off on Twitch.
Wait, is that a storage issue or a processing issue?
It's a processing issue.
Oh, you can't just plug like a 2 terabyte USB drive in there and record to that.
If I go through Twitch, but if I try to use the PS5, it only records the last 15 minutes of
5 or 4?
4. It only records the last 15 minutes of play.
Huh. Well, considering that most of our matches last about 8 minutes, you're good.
We did good.
I could probably set my computer to record our play sessions. I could figure it out, but
you got to make sure that it's set for all the mics to be recognized. And some of us still have mic issues. Do you use a mic? Yeah, you do use your mic to play, right?
I use this one. Yeah.
I use my $40 Best Buy headphones.
Nothing better, man. Hey, as long as it does the job, right?
Yeah,
So-
I had a nice Steel Series and it died.
I seriously, every time the circle appears, just look at it. It's all whatchamacallit?
Concentric?
Concentric. There you go.
I don't know. I don't think it is, but maybe you're right. Because I swear I've played some solo matches where it was like off to one side.
There is no way where the circle starts and all of a sudden the last part stops like right at the top
Anyway,
of the circle.
back to my point. Next
Go
time
ahead.
that happens, we need
Yeah.
to try and get up on some fucking roofs.
Or the high ground.
Yeah, anything. Because like the reason we got wiped is because we were down on the street and there was an entire team up on the fucking roof.
Right, because they were on the ridge and they were gatekeeping because they already had secured that position. But where Simon was, where he was hitting with all those rocks, yeah, he could have wiped them out easily.
Okay, wait. I just found something. I don't know. This is just
Go ahead.
the Google result. All right. As with other battle royale games, Warzone has a collapsing circle. If you get stuck outside of it, poison kills you. One of the ways to predict where that circle is going is to shrink on the map. Oh, that's just a poorly constructed sentence. Only one of the ways to predict where that circle is going to shrink on the map is to go to the yellow assignments known as contracts.
Yeah,
So I guess maybe you can predict where the circle is going to be next based on where the contracts are, because I don't think they're concentric.
one of the contracts, and I don't remember which one, will actually show you where all the circles are going to be.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't remember which one it is.
right. They reveal the next circle recon contracts.
There you go. And if our viewer plays, our viewers laughing their ass off right now because we don't know shit.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't know shit.
But we came in first in plunder, so hey.
So basically, we're good at smash and grab, is what you're saying.
We were
Yeah.
great at it. We did it twice. Same. I'm not going to reveal where we were, but we didn't encounter anybody. We stocked up on loads of cash.
Well, but that's what like Simon mentioned that it seemed like the way the
We're not seeing anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that no one was fighting. Everyone was just basically grabbing and going.
cash.
Well, I think
right.
part of the reason we were doing so much better is like, in the last handful of games, I just kept following you guys. And so I would never have any money.
Yeah.
And so like the last time we were playing, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going in different buildings. You know what I mean? Like, and I would find myself alone, but it turned out to be fine because I never saw anybody.
Yeah, I don't think
and so then we ended up with more money.
I think I had 2 games where I literally didn't fire a shot.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think in regular Warzone, I think we're firing too early. We don't create kill zones, and we always get trapped out in the open.
Well, and there's also the fact that we're not very good at the game.
Yeah. I mean, we're trapped out in the open because we have to move.
You guys are better at it than me. Look, what's my average, my KD ratio? My KD ratio just dropped like 0.17.
0.17?
Yeah, 0.1. Dude.
I'm gonna have to look at mine. Mine might be equivalent. I don't know, but I was praying that I was at least climbing towards 1.
I don't even know where you see the KD ratio. So
yeah, I don't know where it is.
It's so if you go to your options, you go to options. I think it's on the right hand side. There's one where you can see it's in barracks. You can see your history. You can see the history of how you've done. And I don't even make the top 10,000. Okay, my KD ratio is like 0.17. I mean, think about it. I gotta die literally 10 fucking times to get 1 kill. That's like a whole night's worth. That means I don't get to kill anybody until next week. And
Oh my god, that
and
one game that I did really well, where I actually got a handful of kills. I had this fucking auto shotty. Oh, give me an auto shotty any day.
The one with the big round magazine.
I don't know, but it was like
Striker.
I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap! I had the entire hall just like peppered with fucking with
So check your
with
weapon
shit.
loadout. You unlock it at certain levels. You find the striker. Just make that your main shotgun.
I don't. I mean, it looks like I have. I don't know. I never
rank
saw
the
it as
weapon
one
up.
of the weapons that I was able to put in a loadout.
So when you go to your loadout, you'll see you can scroll over the top of what exactly you want: LMG, SMG, assault rifle.
Yeah, but they're not all unlocked.
they're not unlocked. Yeah,
Right,
like I'm
but
only
the-
level 20 now, I think.
Right, but then you can see at what level you can unlock it.
What does that? What good does that do with me today?
Nothing. It's something to
Nothing.
hope for.
It's something to
Yeah.
hope for. Just keep doing it. Just keep.
Yeah, well, that's all a matter of if
No,
you
but
guys
seriously,
keep playing this game.
I'm getting sick, but seriously, I'm getting sick. I want to do something different. I want to do co-op.
Well, that's what I've been saying since before we started playing this game.
mean, what was it, Left 4 Dead? I mean, I'll look for it.
Oof, give me that game any day of the week. Any day of the week for the past 10 plus years. Any day.
It's not multiplayer, but I'm going to put in another plug for Subnautica. If you want like
I just bought it today.
really well balanced survival games, they got the balance. It's also really pretty, but like the crafting isn't too much of a grind. You know,
Apparently it's VR too. So I'm curious to see what that looks like.
I'm sure in VR, I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
Is our mutual friend also? Does he also have it?
What?
Subnautica?
Yeah, but it's
I
single
don't know.
player. It's single
It's
player.
single player. Yeah, it's
I think there's a co-op mod, but
Probably.
I don't know if it's any good.
yeah, because there's really no combat in it, so I don't know really how you would do it multiplayer.
I don't know.
I mean, survive like with zombies, you know, trying to prevent them from attacking.
Yeah, but there's no co-op. I mean, the whole thing is like you crash land on a water planet. You have to sort of figure out why you crash landed, figure out how to get off the planet, and sort of like search for the resources. But there's the closest thing you have to a weapon is a little knife that you can use to catch fish. You do have weapons, but they're things like a stasis gun, which just freezes whatever's chasing you.
Okay, so you're just trying to get away from like predators. You're not
Basically,
actually
yeah.
fighting.
Yeah, like the predators that are big enough. I mean, I'm not that far into it, but my feeling so far, because there's basically no real weapons, is that anything that's big enough to kill you is just going to fuck you up because you don't have there's no BFG in that game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but it's like the balance is good. Like I said, it's like the grind isn't too much. The crafting, it's not like you have to go gather like 10,000 of something to make one thing. And it's like it's all underwater, so exploration is like really fun.
I don't know.
And
Either
pretty.
that, we got to get good at the hell's that stupid that RC soccer game.
Oh yeah, Rocket League.
Rocket League. Yeah, either that or we get good at
Well,
Rocket
there's
League.
not there's
I don't know. That shit may have
Or-
sailed, dude. That's
Or
an
I
older
buy a
game
PC.
already.
Right. Or I buy a PC. I just say fuck it to the wind. Just buy a little mini PC and just get it running.
yeah, but right now with the chip shortage, like you're gonna have to buy a pre-built.
If I can.
Not
I don't know
gonna-
when it's coming. I think it's like a good couple of months now still. I think they just recently pushed it back, but Back for Blood, that's supposed to be like Left 4 Dead 3, man. And I think they've signaled that it is going to be cross-platform play. So we'll see. That could be a good one.
Maybe.
I mean, I'll be playing it. That's for damn sure. I don't know about you boys.
Well, and with my PC now, the question is like, can it play this game?
Yeah, probably. Hold on. Let me call it up.
I mean,
See what they
fortunately,
tell
the
us so far.
system requirements for Warzone are so low that almost anything can play it.
All right. We got about 15 minutes left. I still got to throw out my really terrible idea. Actually, I thought about it. I want to start my food tours up again. Yeah, seriously.
Why is that a terrible idea?
Someone might say it's COVID stupid, but
Oh yeah, but
Oh,
like,
sorry. System specs to be determined. It doesn't say anything.
yeah, but Craig, you're fully vaccinated, right?
yeah, I got J&J, baby. I haven't developed a blood clot yet.
Well, maybe. No, I mean you should. I mean, I feel like by the middle of the summer, by July or August, like it should be safer. You know what I'm saying? Like things should be open. Look, my brother and his
Well, the
husband.
city says it's opening in July.
Yeah, but my brother and his
That's
husband
de
for
Blasio
for
talking out
their
his ass.
anniversary, they went from New Orleans to Memphis for barbecue. They had a great time. They ate their way
Okay.
through Memphis.
All right.
Yeah, they had no problems. So
I mean,
you know,
it depends on where I'd want to start it. I would want to start it. Seriously, I would want to start it in Chinatown, New York, in Manhattan, Chinatown. And the reason being is because those guys have fucking suffered so much. I mean, my favorite Yum Cha restaurant, Jin Fang, closed right in March. I mean, that thing was a staple to go to. It's the one with the escalator. You go upstairs. There's a huge ballroom.
oh, I remember
Oh,
that.
I've been there. I think.
Yeah,
I think Selena took us there. Not us, but a long time ago.
for a long
I
time.
remember that place. Oh, that place closed.
Yeah, they closed because
Oh,
the
fuck.
fucking landlord was a greedy piece. Hey, the landlord was a greedy piece of shit. And
Wait, a greedy landlord in New York?
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it's
New York?
surprising.
Weird.
I
That's
know,
fucked
right?
up.
It is fucked up. But yeah,
Well, hey, if you go to Chinatown, let me know. I'll go with you because it's for me it's
yeah,
close.
it's a hop, skip, and a jump away. But yeah, most definitely, I want to do the food tour in China. So basically, what I do with my food tours is before I go to an area, I'll do the research of all the interesting points, and then I'll lay out a map. So you don't have to follow me per se as I go along this already pre-planned route. I will give you some options. You can go discover all the shops and stores on your own. I've done it for Little Italy in the Bronx. I did it twice for Flushing, right? And my next one was going to be Forest Hills and Queens. But if hopefully everything, everybody gets their shots and everything comes together, I think a great way would be start off in Chinatown, so that way you can always go up to Little Italy. So you'll have the best of both worlds. I mean, Chinatown has changed so much. A lot of the old staples are no longer there, which I really weep about. But
Well, that's New York living, man.
shouldn't really be like.
I think it was Walt Whitman that said that shit. It's just like you spend enough time here and you won't know the place anymore.
Listen,
Yeah.
man, you can't. The reason why New York is such a fucking great city is because the immigrants who came here, who established all these esoteric neighborhoods. I mean, like that's what people wanted to go.
Right. I mean, and the part that's missing is that the new immigrant neighborhoods, but that's how it changed so much was like, I live in what in my lifetime was a Hispanic neighborhood,
All right.
still is over here. It's changing now, it's
Right.
gentrifying, but before that it was a Polish neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like hadn't been that.
Yeah,
And there's still a couple shops and you'll see some old neighborhood people, but it's just the next immigrant population comes in and displaces the old one, as the old one goes into the country and becomes, American, like that's New York. Yeah, basically.
I mean,
But the problem is that now I like, again, I think, what do they say? Like 33% of New York's population is almost always immigrants, but I don't see how we're going to continue that with the way that the city is now, like with prices and everything. And I don't know if we're going to be able to keep doing that.
There will always be quote unquote questionable neighborhoods of safety that people will go to and they'll gentrify the shit out of that.
Yeah, but like I'm not disagreeing with you, Craig, but to Eric's point, like if they come to Manhattan, where the fuck are they gonna live?
Yeah, where are they gonna live?
They
Like, I
will
mean,
live
like,
in
all right, so
Manhattan.
let's take all right, my neighborhood right here, right? So you have like, a variety of Latin populations here.
Okay.
Many of them bought houses 70s, 80s, stuff like that for dirt cheap because it costs nothing. But
Right.
now they can sell their house that's going to have to be leveled or at the minimum gutted for like $1.5 million. Now that's a hell of a lot of money.
It's
Not enough. It's not enough money to stay here. You know what I mean? Like it's enough money to take into some other state. But the thing is that once they sell that house, which is very enticing to do, the house is out of their ethnic population's hands.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, so where do the new immigrants come and live?
Well,
You know what I mean?
let's think about what we want to call ourselves. What we would classify as an immigrant. Do we think immigrants are just poor or middle class people coming over here
No,
trying to make a better life, or are you talking about the Russian oligarch? Right.
No, I just mean by immigrant, I mean the definition. Like someone you used to live somewhere else and now you live here. Like you
Right.
immigrated to this country.
But then there's also a class. There's also a level of class. Like the guys that are moving into my neighborhood, who are quote unquote immigrants. These are people who own, industries in other countries like India or Taiwan or whatnot. And
So those will be upper class immigrants.
yeah, and
Like, I mean, they're still immigrants.
yeah, and it's just still immigrants.
I mean, that's the whole argument. Like, like with Chinese people is most of the Chinese immigrants in modern day are middle class and up.
right.
Which is because there's a whole argument. It's like, oh, Chinese people are smarter than us. It's like, oh, well, we're selecting, from a
Right.
certain segment of the Chinese population, and that's
Well,
why we're getting these results.
right, but they roll in here and they buy up literally like a whole block worth of houses. They make McMansions out of them, and then they invite 15 of their fucking families. So you got like literally 45 people living in like a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house that looks like,
Right. So that's kind of my point. Like, so yeah, like, so we're not necessarily, this city isn't getting the waves of persecuted immigrants. You know what I mean? Like with the
Right.
Jews, the Italians, the Irish, like all of these
Right.
groups that came over the past century.
right.
You know what I mean? Like we're not getting that here in this city anymore. They may be coming somewhere else. I don't know. But
I think we are in the city, but I think that right now, I think they're coming from Central America, South America.
all right. So I know they're still coming, right? Because they're my neighbors. I know that. But is New York going to be able to maintain that with the dynamics of the cost of land here?
I think a lot of that depends on I think it depends on whether, in DC, they're able to pass income tax reforms so that rich people start paying their share and the middle class can actually afford more stuff. But I think it also depends on whether we get real leadership either in the city or in Albany, because there could be significant changes to our housing policy if it wasn't for Andrew fucking Cuomo.
I would love that. I'm all for that shit.
And if it wasn't for Bill de Blasio. And it's not going to happen if Eric Adams is our mayor.
Ooh.
Oh, do we like this Diane lady? What's her name?
Morales.
Oh, Morales.
You like her, right?
I like her. Yes, I do like her.
But she
I
said
like-
they had
I like
an
Morales.
opinion piece. They had an opinion piece. Was it the Washington Post or New York Times where she said something anti-Israel. She's like for the Palestinian apartheid.
Good for her.
But they fucking they oh,
Tough sell here in New York.
It was
but
the
good for
Daily
her.
News. They shit on her.
Yeah.
They
Well,
basically shit on her.
Of course,
the Daily News.
The Daily News is a
Daily News is gonna shit on anybody progressive. But
That's true.
but yeah, the Israel issue, we've talked about it before. That's a tough one. It's a tough one. Like, I mean, again, I'll say it all, but it's a tough one for a politician to talk about.
Oh, I was gonna show you some pictures of my my food tour in the Bronx.
Oh, thank God! I wasn't sure where that sentence was going. Oh, oh Jesus!
All right, so this is Arthur Avenue. All right, I planned this, and we went through all the small little bakery shops.
Oh, so you're one of the idiots who takes pictures of fucking food.
Fucking hell yeah, I do. Look at this shit. dude.
Instagram bitch.
Instagram.
Oh, you were so very questioned about your hang loose there.
Yeah,
Like,
baby.
"Oh."
Right. This is the group that came with me.
Wait, who's that girl on the left? I know her.
This one, this is oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. It begins
Wait,
with
what?
an A.
I feel like I worked with her.
Really? She
Yeah.
worked. This is
To probably hide all these faces, by the way.
nah. It'll be all right. No one watches this shit. But yeah, old style.
He's
old
catching
style
on.
butchers,
He's
old
catching
style
on.
butchers, old style butchers. Look at this shit.
I saw Fabco shoes in reflection.
All those poor
Oh,
damn
beautiful
animals.
animal.
Yeah. Dollar shrimp cocktail, $1.
Yeah,
$1.
trust me. Do not buy.
That's her name.
Do not
It's not who I
buy.
thought it was.
Do not buy
I'll-
shrimp for $1 in the
I'll
Bronx. That's
bleep
all I'm
that
telling
out.
you.
I'll bleep that out.
Yeah, you should bleep that out. You're gonna have to go all over this one, man.
Yeah. But it's amazing. Like this is the type of like old style neighborhood that they stuck together. They pooled their money and their resources together. You know, they made it, you know, part of the heritage of the neighborhood.
They made life hell for any black people moving in.
Yeah, you know, so if you walked up to like Harlem right now, right? would they give you a hard time? No, because they want your money. They want you to.
No,
spend their
also
money.
Harlem's
Because Harlem's not black anymore.
Yeah, Harlem's not what Harlem should be. The first place I ever stayed in New York City was 123rd between Manhattan and Morningside in 1993.
Right. Look at this shit. Look,
I used to shop on 125th.
Look at a sausage hanging from the
And
roof.
what were you shopping for?
I was shopping.
Or
for
145th.
Meat. I was shopping for meat, baby. Look at that. That's when I could eat loads and loads.
Craig
and
is
loads
always
of
shopping
fucking
for meat.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Is that a stuffed cat?
No. Really.
Wait, Craig, did you eat the cat?
Racist much? No. That was an awesome store cat. Actually, they caught him actually sleeping in one of the coffee beans.
Ah,
In a coffee bean?
Yeah.
Neat.
He was sleeping on the coffee beans. Crazy cat.
I still can't hear you say neat without thinking of Bender.
Neat.
I think that's where I got that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that just makes me think of Jordan Peterson. They made one of those out of him.
Anthony
did that?
Bourdain?
Hey,
Yeah.
is Peterson out of rehab yet?
Yeah, he's out. He's been working. He's been doing some stuff. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wait, who's Jordan Peterson again?
He's the clean your room guy.
Jordan Peterson's
The anti-trans clean your room guy.
Yeah, he's I can't remember. There's a name for that where people who are smart in one field think they're smart in every field.
I mean, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And his I would say his self-help stuff is, it's good, right? It's just that it's got a lot of other shit attached to it.
He's on Rogan a lot, isn't he? Because
He's been on Rogan. The last time he was on was when he went in, and I feel like Rogan called him on some shit, and he had a hard time with it.
Really? I thought those two guys were like really fucking like best.
Hey,
buddies.
did you?
Yeah, I mean, Rogan went through a period there where he seemed to be punching back. Like Milo had his downfall on Rogan.
Did you see Milo says he's not gay anymore?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Milo's an ex-gay.
I mean, he's just going wherever. I mean, that motherfucker is the definition. Like, you look up grifter and you find his picture. Like, I mean, he will go wherever he thinks he can get the most notoriety.
Absolutely.
Who, Milo or Peterson?
Milo. No, Peterson, I think he believes what he believes. But I think he's wrong. But
yeah.
I don't know. All right, let's wrap it up, man. We got about a couple of minutes left. You guys want to say anything before I call it a night?
We need to get on roofs next time.
Tell you what, you're looking to be team lead roofs.
We need to get on roofs next time.
You will get picked off. You will get picked off so fast.
Yeah, but dude, if we I mean, the reason we got wiped is because there was a whole team on the fucking roof. We need to get on roofs.
It wasn't the whole team was on the roof.
You guys were talking about roofies or something. I don't know.
No.
We got picked off because we got herded into a kill zone. It didn't matter if they were
by people who were on roofs.
One or two people who were on roofs.
Yeah, well, it only took one or two to bust all our asses.
All right, we'll put that theory to the test come later this week. So I just have to figure out a way to record all this shit. Like 45 minutes of it.
Just point your Sony video, camcorder at the screen and do it old school.
I'm not gonna do the Nigerian thing, like walk into a fucking movie and start recording that shit. We're not doing that. No.
People still do that?
Yes, people still do that.
People still buy those discs?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Discs.
People have things to play discs on?
Dude, I don't even have a working DVD player.
Me neither. Well, I have my PlayStation.
I have the DVD drive in my old Mac Pro. That's it.
Yeah.
My DVD player died and I haven't replaced it.
Really?
Well, I mean,
my PC doesn't have a drive.
Well, actually, my PC does. Now that I think about it, but
that is an old PC. Just kidding.
No, you know what? I got it specifically for X-Plane because X-Plane is like just the global scenery is like 60 or 70 gigs. And I was
so you just let it load off the disc every time you launch it?
No, I just it was easier just to put it. And also, by this time, it's almost like I'm collecting because I've got like X-Plane and DVD going back to like 2008 now. It's like, I'm going to get that fucker on DVD as long as they offer it.
Yeah, I've got, some old, like I have a drawer of old games on disc that, especially the ones that would come in the nice collector tins and shit.
Look at that.
That kind of thing. Like, it's a pretty box. I have a hard time getting rid of it.
Tiger, whichever version. I don't remember which version Tiger.
That's like 10 years old, like 10.3 or some shit like
that. 10.4 or something. Yeah, that's Tiger. That's back when you used to have to buy OS 10. Oh, wait, hold on. The box is a bit beat up, but
what do you got? Max
Ooh.
Payne.
Yeah, Remedy, baby. Yeah, that was the game,
Time.
man. Oh, I love that game. You know what? I'm gonna reinstall it.
Ah, all
Yeah.
right.
That's all I was saying.
That's all we have time for today, folks. Thank you for joining us for another episode where Simon said that I have to put some sort of like, ratcheting clip in the front. If you have any ideas,
We'll work that out later.
Wait, some sort of what?
ratcheting clip in the front.
Like we
What's
like the
that?
idea of taking a clip somewhere from within the conversation, something spicy, and throw it at the beginning, and then you jump in. But we can deal with that later. We don't have to deal with that yet.
And we still have to do the promo. We still have to do like the demo.
Yeah, I got some ideas from that. I'll tell you later.
All right. Boys, have a good week.
See y'all later.
Later,
catch you
kids.
next week. All right. Have a good night, boys. Later.